Good morning, students. Uh, Welcome you all. Now we are going to start chapter number 1, which is real number, and its board weightage is 4 marks. Okay, what do you mean by numbers? One number is also a number, 0.5 is also a number, root 2, root 5, root 7, minus 1.5 or minus 0.33 is also a number. So we can say that there are infinite numbers are there. Okay, how can we bifurcate this number? We bifurcate this number by dividing in it number set. Okay, you already studied in earlier classes about the different type of number set. Here I just want to recall some points regarding the number set, and then we will start the chapter real number. Okay, let's recall some number set. First is natural number set. Natural number set, it means the numbers start with 1 and it is a positive set of number. It means it will start from 1 and end with infinity. Infinity means there is no end. We can't say that 10,000, 10 lakh or 10 crore, 10 billion, 10 million is the last number. It is infinite. Okay, so it will start with 1 and end with the infinity. Then next is whole number set, which is denoted by W. Okay, and if we add 0 in natural number set, then we will get the whole number set. Is it clear? Okay, now next is integer number set. It is denoted by capital Z. It involves positive, negative along with 0. So we can say that if we add a negative numbers in whole number set, we will get a integer number set Z. Again, on both the hand, both are extreme. It means negative infinite and positive infinite. Is it clear? Now, next is rational number set. You already learn in 9th standard about the rational and irrational number. So first I want to discuss about the rational number. What do you mean by rational number? So any number we can say if we express in the form of P by Q, where Q is not equal to 0. For example, if we take 1, so can we write 1 by 1? Yes. So 1 is a rational number. Then 1 by 4. So it is in the form of P by Q, right? Here P is 1 and Q is 4. So this is called a rational number. The number, any number which you can express in the form of P by Q. The main must condition is Q must not be 0. There is something at the denominator place. Doesn't mind with the negative or positive. Is it clear? Now, the rational number set, it is denoted with the Q. So, along with all positive, negative number, along with 0, all those number which are expressed in P by Q form are included in rational number set. Now, next is a real number set which is denoted by capital R. It is a combination of rational number and irrational number. Now, we just talk about the rational number. Now, what is irrational? Exactly opposite in case of the rational number. Rational is expressed in P by Q. Now, on the other hand, irrational, we cannot express or cannot write in the form of P by Q. Those number we can say as irrational number. Is it clear? Okay. Now, so real number set in short is a combination of rational and irrational number. So I have here written some irrational number. Root 3, root 2. They are irrational. We can't express in the form of P by Q. Okay. We will discuss the difference between rational, irrational, what are their properties in next period, and till now I think that there is a clear between the number set. First is N, then W, it means natural number set, whole number set. integer number set, rational number set, and the real number set. If you notice one thing, that n is a subset of w. What do you mean by subset? It means all the numbers which comes in natural number are also there in a w or whole number set. Those number which are present in whole number set are also there in a z. It means integer number set. These numbers which are in integer number set are also there in rational number set, and all these numbers are also there or present in real number set. So in short, we can say that n is a subset of w, w is a subset of z, z is a subset of q, and q is a subset of r. Right? Okay, I hope it's fine for you to understand between the difference, and you get the difference, and you can easily now recognize which we called as a rational, irrational number and all. Right? Now we begin this chapter 1 with the two important properties of the positive integer. Those two properties are Euclid's division algorithm, and the second one is fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Now we are going to start with the first one, Euclid's division algorithm. So what do you mean by algorithm? What is its meaning? So algorithm is a series of well-defined steps. Series means sequence. A series of well-defined steps which gives procedure or method, which gives procedure for solving a type of a problem. It means it is a systematic sequence or series which provide one main method. By that method we can solve our problem. Okay. Now that is the meaning of algorithm. Now what do you mean by division? Division means there is a simple division method as a dividend by the dividend divided by the divisor. Okay. Now we just I think in polynomial we have seen about the division algorithm for polynomial. Okay. And the main result we got from that is dividend px is equal to product of quotient and divisor plus remainder. Same funda or same concept we have to use here as a Euclid's division algorithm. But here the symbols are quite different, and this is regarding just positive integer. So here it is denoted that let a is any positive integer. It is divided by b. So in short, a is a dividend, b is a divisor. So take any positive integer a which is divided by a positive integer b, and after that by division method we can get a quotient and remainder such that the value r means remainder is always less than divisor. Always less than divisor. Okay, we will discuss it later on, but just focus on this. A here dividend, B is a divisor, Q is a quotient, and R is a remainder. If you compare these two, same things are happening here. Here also dividend, this is dividend, quotient, this is quotient, this is dx. We denoted as dx in polynomial. Here we denoted as a b as a divisor, a positive integer, and the rest is again plus r remainder. Here r remainder. Okay. First topic, first important property of the positive integer. First is Euclid's division algorithm. Okay, and as I said, algorithm, it which gives you a method, or we can say a technique. Okay, here we use this technique or method to find out HCF. To find out HCF, you already studied in earlier standard about HCF and LCM. Okay, by different method. Here we going to use this division algorithm method to get the find the HCF, right? Now here second thing is given is Euclid division lemma. So actually what is lemma? Lemma is a proven statement, proved, already it is proved, and that proved statement we use to prove another statement. Are you getting it? Lemma is already proved statement and which is going to use for proving another statement, that is called the Euclid's division lemma. And here the statement of Euclid division lemma is given positive integers a and b. As I told you, a is a dividend, b is a divisor. The given positive integers a and b, there exist, if we do division, the two different positive integer exist which are unique. Unique means one and only one. One and only one. I repeat again. Give positive integers. Given positive integers a and b, there exist unique integers q and r satisfying the condition a is equal to bq plus r, where value r, look here, r is always less than b. It means the remainder whenever we get by the division method is always less than the divisor. And that value r, remainder, may be greater than 0 or may be equal to 0. Is it clear? So I think we can say that this is the main thing that you have to remember, where a is equal to bq plus r, and don't forget the condition where value r is always less than b and r may be 0 or greater than 0. A, I again repeat, a is equal to bq plus r. It means a is dividend is equal to the product of the divisor and the quotient and plus remainder. The condition is main. Remainder always less than divisor, and remainder may be greater than 0 or may be is equal to 0. Let's do the example, or we can say to find out HCF of positive integers, two positive integers, by using the division algorithm. It is given in exercise 1.1, question number 1. Now we are going to start exercise 1.1. In that the first question is find HCF of given numbers by Euclid's division algorithm. See, here the method is mentioned. If it is not mentioned and it is just asked to find out HCF, then you can do any method. Okay, you can apply any method what you already learned till now. But here it is mentioned that you have to find out HCF by Euclid's division algorithm only. Okay, and for that we have to use here Euclid division lemma. So in that, what we have to do? First step is, out of two number, which number is bigger, that you have to select. So obviously out of this two number, 225 is bigger than 135. So bigger number you have to write on the left hand side, and on right hand side you have to write down smaller number. Now I have shown here, written here is equal to. Are these two number equal? No. So what we can do to make these two things equal? Okay. Now this is dividend here. This is divisor here. I am showing you a simple way. If 10 and 2, these two things are, these two positive integers are given. Obviously 10 is bigger than the 2. Okay, let's take 3. Okay, let's take 3. Now 3 is smaller than 10. So if I write here is equal to, is it fair? No, it is unfair because they are not equal. To make them equal, can I multiply this with 3? So 3 3s are 9 and remainder is plus 1. Now they are equal? Yes. Now this both side we can say that LHS is equal to RHS. Is it clear? Right? Okay. Now similarly we have to do the same thing here. Here 225 and 135 are not equal. If I multiply this with 2, then if I multiply with 2, so 135 multiplied by 2, 0, 1, 3 2 are 6, 7, it is 270. So 270 is bigger number than 225. So we cannot multiply 135 with 2. So we have to multiply it with 1. Okay. Now rest 135. This is 135. What amount we add to make 225? So it is 90. Now both are equal. So we can say that LHS is equal to RHS. Is it clear? Okay. Now next step. I hope you got the first step. Okay. Now this divisor now become a dividend and you have to take on the left hand side. So it is 135 here. Okay. And that was a remainder in the first step. Now it is a divisor in the second step. I repeat again. The divisor, it was a divisor. This number 135 was a divisor in the first step. Now it become a dividend. You have to take to the other hand. Okay. Now this 90 is a remainder, now become a divisor. Okay. Now again same thing you have to do. What we multiply with 90 to get 135 equal. So 90 into 2. So it is 180. Again it is greater than 135. So we have to multiply with 1 only. Okay. And rest is 45. Is it clear? Now if you think about कि हमको कितने step ऐसे करना है, we have to continue this step till we get remainder as a 0. Till we get a remainder 0. Now again take this divisor which was a divisor in a second step, now become a dividend in a next step. Similarly 45 which is a remainder, which was remainder in the second step, now in third step it was a divisor. Now 45 multiplied by 2. 45 2s are 90. So there is no remainder here. It means it is plus 0. Now we do not have to proceed further as we already got the remainder 0. Okay. So we can say that this is the last step. This is the last step. So whenever we get the last step, the divisor is HCF of a given number. The divisor of the last step. I repeat again. Divisor of last step is the HCF of 135 and 225. So we can lastly say that therefore HCF 135 225 is equal to 45. This is the method we called as a Euclid division algorithm. Okay, can I repeat again? Okay, these two numbers are given. The greater number is on left hand side. On right hand side a smaller number. We have to make a balance, make a equal. So I multiply with 1 and plus 90 remainder. Now in second step the divisor become a dividend. The remainder become a divisor. The same step we have to continue till we get a remainder as a 0. and that is then when we get remainder 0 is the last step. And the last step, in this last step, the whatever divisor you get is the HCF of given two positive integer. Now, after completion of first one, you can able to do the second one at your own. I will start the third sum of to find out HCF by the Euclid division algorithm. Now here again you see 867 is greater than 255. Okay, so 867 we have to write on the left hand side and 255 on the right hand side. To make it equal, again we have to multiply this with any number. Okay, so 255 multiply by 2, 0, 1, 1, 1. Here 5, 10. Okay, let's try with the 3. 15, 1. Now it is 765. Let's try with the 4. 4 2s are 8 and 10. Now this number is greater than the given one, and therefore we select 225 multiply by 3. So 225 multiply by 3 plus. So it is how much? It is 765 is there and 867. So 867 and 765. So it is 2, 0 and here it is 1. So here it is 102 extra. Is it clear? Now again, this will goes to other hand and it is as a divisor. So it is 255 is equal to 102 multiply by any number and it is plus. And we have to continue this till we get a remainder as a 0. Okay. Now 102 multiply by 3. Let's check. Obviously it is greater. So multiply by 2. 2 2s are 4. 0 and 204. So here it is multiply by 2. And 255, 204. So 1 and 5. So 51 we got as a extra. So it is a remainder here. Now again 120 and 51. So 102 is equal to 51 multiply by any number. So if I multiply by 2, can I get 102? Yes. Anything extra? Is there anything extra? No. So here it is 0. So we get our last step where we get a remainder as a 0. And I already told you that the divisor of the last step is HCF of given number. And therefore we can say that HCF of 867 and 255 is equal to 51. Is it clear? Okay.